Oh yeah. It's not a good time if you still believe in a united kingdom, is it? We've had months of dealing with the greatest danger that's faced this island since the Second World War. We've shut ourselves away for months to protect the ones we care for. Families have been isolated, city centres closed down, offices shut. We discovered that, surprise surprise, key workers are amongst the lowest paid. Not lawyers, politicians or even bankers. And now, just as we thought there was a chance that life was getting back to normal, well, let's be honest, it isn't. While we're all working to beat the virus, Brexit is coming for us, like Speed 3, only without the comedy. It's been hard to watch if you've argued we're better together, stronger in union, too we, too poor. Every day, every week, every month. If you're truthful with yourself, you poured yourself whatever you've been drinking too much of during lockdown, sat back and thought, thank God I live in Scotland. It doesn't really matter if you agree with the SNP or not. It doesn't matter if you think Nicola should be blessed as the world's first living saint, or if you think she's a wee bit too full herself. What you know is that, since March, the governments of Scotland and Westminster have been constantly measured against one another in the most trying circumstances, and you must admit that the Scottish Government has proved itself to be competent. Let's not get carried away here. Others might gush uncontrollably about how wonderful the Scottish Government has been, about how the First Minister in Scotland has grown in the eyes of the world during this unprecedented pandemic crisis. That may well be true, but then that's from supporters, from neutrals like the French, Germany and the other Europeans. You would expect them to get carried away, wouldn't you? No, what's really discombobulated you is the Scottish Government have demonstrated that they are competent. And if they can be competent and trusted in the onslaught of this world disaster, then really, in your heart of hearts, in the deep reasoning part of your brain, you know they can be competent in managing an independent Scotland. Just like over 30 countries who have become independent since 1945, they can create a currency, run an economy and ensure that their people prosper. Everything might not be
world-beating, gold-plated, the game changer, the so-called Operation Moonshot.
But you know it will be reassuringly competent. After all, that's all you really want in a government. You want it to work, to give you a bit of pride. That leads us to another reason that the doubts about being better together have grown, and you know they have. It's okay, I won't tell anyone. In 2014 you were part of the silent majority who were worried, maybe even a bit scared of independence, and you voted no because of those genuinely held concerns. The status quo seemed to be the safe place to be. However, things never stay the same. The Westminster government that offered those broad shoulders of stability, security and national pride have ripped up everything they promised. And instead you have a government in London that just looks alien to you. A government that signs international treaties it then prepares to discard. A government where ministers boast of breaking the law.
I would say to my honourable friend that yes, this does break international law in a very specific and limited way.
When they see Scotland handling a crisis better, this Westminster government doesn't allow us to lead as they promised. Instead, this Westminster government closes the First Minister's voice down.
Join us soon for some more bargain hunting, yes?
You watch, read and listen daily to the list of Westminster priorities that make you wince. Top appointments going to friends of ministers, special advisers flaunting the law, £1 billion contracts being awarded to shadowy companies, human rights being tossed in the bin. Every day the sense of decency, of real world-beating democracy is just dripping away from the rotten carcass that Westminster has become. You only want your government to be competent. You don't want promises of world-beating, you just want things to work. You know the UK isn't working, you know it isn't world-beating anymore. In fact, it's now a bit of a laughingstock. If you want things to be well run, to be competent, to have a bit of pride in your government and your country, you know what you have to do. Start that journey now. Make the decision to back your country, your Scottish Government and yourself. It's time to join the majority of Scots who want an independent Scotland. We'll be delighted you've joined us, and we can't do it without you. No one needs to make a fuss. We won't either. It'll just be between us.